The areas of expertise section on a resume is one of those sections that you don't see all the time, but the best resumes always have one. And that's because it serves a few different purposes that are helpful on the job search. They're helpful for a few different reasons. You've got one, that this section is really key to building a great document that performs well through applicant tracking systems and for search engine optimization. So through applicant tracking systems, typically jobs are filtered or resumes are filtered through different keywords, and an areas of expertise section allows you to highlight certain keywords that you know are going to be important for the role that you're going for, that maybe don't show up enough on the resume in your experience or in the summary. And this section allows you just to call it out one more time. And that one more time might be the difference between you getting a call or not when it comes to an interview. For search engines, if you're the kind of job seeker that likes to put their resume up on the job boards online just to get that extra exposure, similar to the applicant tracking system, having these words called out one more time on the resume is really helpful when it comes to the density of keywords on your resume and how often they show up. And so it's important to be strategic about which keywords and which areas you choose to showcase in this section, because they have a real impact on how and what and where your resume is showing up on the job boards. The second reason an areas of expertise is important on the resume is that it showcases skills that maybe you haven't been able to showcase as much on the resume. So this is especially key for individuals who are maybe transitioning industries or transitioning functions. If your entire resume speaks to your skill set and your experience and you're changing industries, you've got to be aware that there are going to be areas on the job description or skills that the hiring managers are looking for that you probably haven't been able to showcase. And so calling these things out in the areas of expertise are important. For example, let's say you are changing from an individual contributor role to a management role. And in your career, you haven't been able to showcase that you've had reports or that you've had people report into you. The areas of expertise is an area where you could say that you have some experience with team leadership or team development or things like that. And that allows you to bring up a talking point, for one, during the interview. But it also allows you through the applicant tracking system or through the search engines to have that keyword show up in your resume where maybe it hasn't before. Same goes for changing industries. Let's say that you want to transition from, for example, automotive to energy. And there are certain keywords that apply to energy that don't apply to automotive. You'll be able to show that you've got a little bit of expertise in these areas by showing them in an areas of expertise section. So it's helpful on that front too. Third, the areas of expertise, depending on where you put it on the resume, helps aesthetically with the resume too. So you've got to remember that after you've gotten the resume through a computer or an applicant tracking system or the search engines, it's going to land on the desk of an individual who's going to be looking at the resume and determining in 8 to 12 seconds whether they want to bring you in for an interview or not. And the last thing that you want to do is have something that looks so dense in terms of the number of words on the page or the limited white space, for example, that they just have no interest in reading your resume. And so having an areas of expertise section, because it's a nice balance of white space with font and text, is a nice way to break up the aesthetics of a resume so that you can get sections going on your resume. So let's say you have your summary above and then your experience below. That areas of expertise serves as a nice kind of break in the resume and entices the hiring manager to read the summary and then read the areas below it because of the way that the white space works on the page. So there's 3 reasons why the areas of expertise is so important to get right on the resume. You want to make sure that you're being thoughtful about how you're executing it, making sure that you do the research on the job descriptions and the kinds of keywords that you want to apply to this section, because not only are they great for showcasing skills that you want to highlight more than they already are showing, but they're also great for people that are transitioning industries and showcasing words that don't appear on your resume at all. And then finally, being thoughtful about where you place your areas of expertise is important when it comes to the readability of your resume, which is so key when you think of the way that brings people in for interviews. I mean, you're dealing with human beings at the end of the day after you've gotten through the computers, and making sure that your resume gets read versus one that doesn't get read. It's really the difference between you landing an interview or you not landing an interview.